We actually like specifically talk to the kids about, hey, around this age it's going to be healthy for you to essentially leave the coop.
You can see the progress and you can see things that, hey, maybe we wouldn't take time to discuss this without setting aside this time.
We're in unity. Because like when you come together as, you're married, you're in unity, but if you don't have the same vision, you have different directions. Hi friends, we're so excited to be with you in another conversation with Erin and I. We're calling this podcast Victory at Home, and Erin and I really want you to experience that. We want you to experience victory in your marriage, victory in your parenting, and we want your kids to get everything out of this life that God wants them to. And so today we got two subjects that we want to talk about, one on the marriage side, one on the parenting side. But before we get into that, we thought we'd kind of just start off with something fun and talk about what do you do as a family for fun in the cold months of winter? When it's cold outside, the snow's on the ground, what do you guys like to do to just connect and have fun? And so, honey, what are some of the things that we like to do as a family just to connect and have fun?
Well, I think our family prefers the warmer weather, but we play a lot of board games.
We do.
And we just got a new one. It was really fun. What was that called? Quizzle?
Yeah.
It's like kind of speedy.
Mm-hmm.
So we play a lot of board games. We spend a lot of time. You have a lot of guys' movie nights. We do.
Guys' movie nights.
Yeah,
it's a good
guys'
time.
movie nights. And the girls aren't invited, but we don't take much offense for the guy movies.
Well, you guys get to sit and chat, which is like what you want to do anyways.
Yeah, or go shopping or something. But yeah, I would say for the most part, we don't do a lot of skiing. The kids will go out in the snow, but yeah, that's for the most part just spending time together, hanging out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so board games at our house can be pretty intense. Mm-hmm. We recently just played a game of Monopoly when we were watching the National College Championship.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't my funnest game because I didn't end up winning.
No,
but it was pretty intense.
We played a family game of poker, and I won.
That's right.
Yeah.
You did, honey. I got second.
You all thought you could beat me.
You're unpredictable. We don't know exactly what you're going to do. So
I don't think I do either.
But yeah, board games. We do like to go outside and play in the snow when we have it. Do some sled riding. I've always done that when I was younger. But yeah, I like to go lift weights with the boys and play basketball and go to the gym, play some racquetball.
The YMCA.
Little pickleball action.
Yeah.
But those are all fun things. So we would say, hey, why don't you post some of the fun things that you guys like to do in the chat, whether you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Instagram, Facebook, let us know what you guys like to do fun as a family. So honey, let's get into our conversation and the things that we want to hit on today.
Yeah.
So we recently did a vision marriage retreat.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, first one that we've done with that.
Yeah.
And I thought it went really well. Something I said to you right away is like, man, I wish we'd have been doing this
time ago.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
First year we were married, we would have had over 20 of these done if we would have started right from the get-go.
22.
But we got 40 more to go because we're going to be living for another 40 years, right?
Maybe even more.
Yeah, maybe even more. But I thought it was really good. Couple quick verses that I wanted to share is Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain on tablets so that he may run who reads it. And so that's really what the Vision Marriage Retreat is really about, is just making sure that we're clear on our goals for our marriage, for our family, our priorities, our values, like all of those things, that we're on the same page. We're in unity. Because like when you come together as, you're married, you're in unity, but if you don't have the same vision, you have different directions, then you're kind of pulling against each other. I think everybody experiences that in marriage. We most certainly have as well. But like, what were some of the things that you really liked about the Vision Marriage Retreat in general?
I think the time just being set apart, we were intentional about booking, and we did that on Travel Tuesday. So we got a good deal on a place in the city.
Yep.
And it was something we also could look forward to. But we were able to just set that time apart because, for me, whenever I'm at home, I see laundry needs done, dishes need done, the dog needs taken care of. So there's just so many distractions. So when we went, we were able to just chat, and we spent a lot of time just talking, and some of it was like more serious and in depth, but some of it was just fun and about, the future and looking forward to all the things in the future. So I think that's it. What did you ask me?
Well, I just wanted to see what you liked about it. Some of the big things that just stood out.
It was nice too because we did it right before the New Year. We did it the week in between Christmas and the New Year, and that is a busy time. And sometimes it's like, oh, should we do it then? Because there's a lot going on. But it was good to just have a reset for the New Year, to get on the same page, to look ahead, to evaluate and reflect on different things, but then also adjust and look ahead to what we have coming up. And there's a lot of exciting things coming up, but we also have to be intentional about a lot. And if you're not on the same page, it gets a little shaky.
I think we had a good balance of we did 4 different more formal sessions where we talked about specific things in our marriage, like the most important parts. But we also just had a lot of relaxation and fun. Like we were able just to go around the city and do some meals together, get some dinner at some nice restaurants, and really just spend time together. So I think it was for me, it was the balance of all of that we get to do. Like we're prioritizing our marriage because we're out together. We're talking about the most important things, making sure that we're going in the same direction. But like I said, just having fun together too. I think that's really important in marriage.
Yeah, but I know we were able to do that, but a lot of couples might not be able to.
It's true.
So I think that you can make it work. It doesn't have to look how ours looked. And when our kids were younger, it probably could not have looked like that.
That's true. That's a good point.
And so, if couples, I even have talked to a couple in the church that on Saturday nights, they put their kids to bed a little bit earlier. They either order in a nice dinner, and they're able to take that time to just talk and reflect and make it about them. They don't worry about chores. They're intentional about it. And when the kids are younger, that's, I think, a really great idea. And hopefully they'll be able to plan like an overnight somewhere to get away, but that would be another good way for couples.
That's a good point. It most certainly doesn't need to be expensive. You could honestly do it in a day if you really wanted to. We took 3 days and really just spread it out. And again, just made sure that we weren't just doing a lot of formal sessions where we're talking through things, but also just had relaxation and fun together. So I think all those things made it for a good combination. Yeah. But what would you say if you were talking to just another mom about doing a vision marriage retreat? Like, what would you tell them to do it? Why would you tell them to do it?
I feel like I've already talked to several different moms and friends and just said, hey, we did this and it was really great. And you can see the progress and you can see things that, hey, maybe we wouldn't take time to discuss this without setting aside this time. So you're giving yourself the time, you're putting your phone down, you're setting aside distraction. And you did a really good job about coming prepared with different topics to go over. And I know that, some of the resources, books that we've read, conferences we've gone to, those kind of helped prepare those things. So I've told a lot of people it's a great idea, and I wish we would have started it sooner, but we didn't, and that's okay.
You live, you learn, and you get better, right?
That's why we're doing this. Yeah. That's why we want people to marriages to succeed and families to grow, and that's why we're here, for you to learn from our mistakes and for you to see things that we feel like are working as well. So
yeah. I mean, really anybody could do this at any stage of the game too, right? Like it doesn't have to be 20 years in. You could start when you're just, like we said, year one. Wish we could go back and do it over again right then. Yeah. So any stage of the game will work. But one of the sessions that we kind of ended on was talking about our family, specifically talking about the kids, talking about family values. We've kind of always had family values, but we never actually wrote them down, made them kind of more official.
Yeah.
And so we talk through that. We talk through exactly, the 7 family values that we want, and we're essentially gonna put them on a not a poster.
I want to make a Canva.
Yeah, make a Canva.
Yeah.
And we'll put them on the wall. Yeah, whatever that's called. But we're going to put it out there, make the vision clear in terms of the family values and what we're going to do. But we talked about each kid and kind of like in the next season and what's going on in their life. What do they need? Like, what are they going to need for development so that while they're in our house, they're properly doing the things that they should, but that they're prepared and ready beyond our house.
Yeah. I like that we took time before, you would read through the questions of what to answer. And you and I took time I just had my notes app open and I jotted down notes about every topic, but then with each kid. And so every year now I can look back and track like, oh, this is what maybe we were praying for over this kid or what we were discussing. And now we'll be able to watch those things unfold in their lives. And also when we got back, maybe we didn't talk to our kids about why we were going away beforehand, but afterwards we talked to them much more.
Yeah.
And they were just more, they didn't say a lot about it. Like they were like, oh, you guys got to go away. You got to go eat good food. But once we explained to them that they were a big topic of conversation and we were praying for them, you kind of saw them like, oh, well, that's interesting. So setting that example for them too, I think is really neat to see how they're watching and they're going to take that in. And hopefully someday they use this for their families as well. And they are intentional. And that's the key thing for me is like, we have to be intentional because there's so many distractions. There's so many things going on. There's so many different areas that can pull you and can pull me. But the enemy wants us to be distracted, but we need to keep our focus on setting these values, reminding each other of the values. And we do that at the dinner table all the time. And now those things are getting written on their hearts and that they know this is what our family stands for. This is what the Bible says about it. And this is how we live. So I think it was neat to see how the kids responded to like, oh, you went away not just to go have fun, but for kind of like a serious business, like this is serious.
Yeah, because it is, right? Like what's more important than your marriage? What's more important than your family? And I think the other thing that we didn't actually say yet that was really important is we spent time in prayer together. Before each session that we did, we prayed. One of us would kind of open, one of us would close. We prayed over the kids, we prayed over our marriage. And so those are powerful moments. And we're, it's all centered around God and relationship with him and being obedient to what he's called us to do with our family. And so that's kind of a good segue into the last thing that we wanted to talk about is a practice that we've been doing on the parenting side with our kids over the last several years. And that's simply just goal setting with them. We meet with each individual kid and talk to them about, hey, what are you seeing in the next season? Which for us, we're filming this right now in January. So January through April is kind of the next season. And what do you see in the next season of your life that you need in terms of development? We talk about what's a spiritual goal, what's a physical goal, what's something more educational, and then just like some other categories. So you have about 4 or 5 goals for each kid. And then we're able to sit down with them and talk to them about what we see as their parents that they need in this next season. And so we kind of talk about it together, but we're kind of doing that each with each individual kid, which I think is very personal and very relational and just, so like, what do you think about that whole process that we've been doing now with each kid with that?
I think it's kind of the same, like I said, as we're kind of tracking it and watching, and our kids also know ahead of time. It's not like we're like, hey, Callie, come sit down. Tell me your goals for your life. We give them the heads up like a week prior. Hey, next weekend, we're going to just take time to sit down and talk to you about these few things. Write them in your notes. We want to see them. We want to hear you talk about them. So it gives them a heads up. And I think that it makes them feel like each individual. Because, especially with having 4 kids, they can be like clumped together as 4 kids, but they're each going through different seasons in their life.
They're each unique.
Yeah, and they're all going on different tracks of, goals. So getting to have them have time to open up and ask questions and see that we're cheering them on in what they want, but we also remind them of our standards of excellence and valuing people and loving others. So it's just a special time. And I think in the winter months, because we do this at the new year, and we do it throughout the year as well, but in the winter, it's a reset. It's a reset and like a refocus, and like just kind of gets the ball rolling.
I think you can start at any time too. It doesn't have to be in the new year. Whoever's listening, if they're listening at different points of the year, just pick up and start. Whether it's the Vision Marriage Retreat or doing these goals with your kids, it's just important that you are doing it, not necessarily per se in the season that you're doing it. Yeah,
I think it's fun, and I always cry every time. Never fails, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's really important that we do that. It's intentional. In Proverbs, honey, it talks about train a child in the way they should go. When they get older, they won't depart from it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We're preparing them for their seasons right now in life and what's going on, but we're training them for the season beyond that they're in our house.
Yeah.
And so that's just so important. It's so vital. And I cherish those times that we have with each kid, and just talking to them and then praying over them, both of us. And it's obviously just praying God's blessing and their next step on their life and everything that's going on. So what would you say to another parent just in terms of that practice and like what it's probably meant obviously for our kids, but how special it is for us too? Like what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would probably just say that don't make it harder than it is. Like keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.
I know that hearing us talk about it can seem like, oh my goodness, like, yeah, that's great that they do that, but I wouldn't know where to start. And you can always even ask questions. They can ask questions like, hey, what are these things that you ask? Or what if my kid is kind of pushing back against it?
Yeah.
But just start somewhere, and doing that will then build. Because with us, we've done this now a few times. Yeah. So the kids expect it. They know that it's coming. They kind of know the routine of it. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you make it too hard or complicated, or I want to do this or that, it will never get done.
Yeah.
So keep it simple, but just impractical. Like just put these are the questions. There's no right or wrong answer. We just want to hear your heart, and just setting that time aside, just one-on-one, face-to-face. We want to hear where you're at.
Yeah.
I think
like anything else, it's as you do it and you have several reps with it, it becomes easier. You can maybe have some more advanced things that you do with it, but I think that's a really good point, is like keep it simple when you start off. Don't make it complex. Hey, let's have 3 to 5 goals. You pick some. Mom and Dad, we're going to tell you some, and we'll agree on it. We'll pray about it.
Did you touch on that? We also like write down goals we have for them. Did
you
say that?
Yeah, we talked about that with what we did on the marriage retreat.
Because we can see in them too things that they can't see yet.
That's
and
right.
We have time to share that with them.
Yeah. And so but those are really important times. Something else that we've kind of done in this season, but just really in general, I think as the kids were younger, just preparing them for life. We actually like specifically talk to the kids about, hey, around this age it's going to be healthy for you to essentially leave the coop, get off the payroll, and essentially go live your life. Not because we want our kids to leave, but to just give them healthy expectations. And I was recently just in a conversation at work. We were just kind of talking about young adults in our society right now, and on average, young adults are taking the big major steps in life a lot later.
Yeah.
So like getting married, as an example, is one of the biggest steps that you're going to take in life. Oftentimes that happens when you're a young adult in your 20s. And, 50 years ago, a young adult, got married on average at 22, and now it's more like 30.
Yeah.
And so that's a big shift, almost 10 years. It's kind of shifted over that time. There's a lot of reasons for that, but I think another reason, and then another big step is getting out of your parents' home. And so I think having those conversations help young adults take those steps. Everybody's story is a little bit different, and so they're not all going to be the same. And it's okay if you get married if you're in your 30s or later, or if you get out of your parents' home a little later in life, that is okay. But on average, it's healthy to have those conversations and talk about what does that look like into the future. And the other thing we've told our kids is it's not like, so 22 is the age that we've essentially said, hey, at 22, plan on being out. But we're not going to be legalistic with that. If they get to 22 and they're not ready, they're not getting kicked out of the house.
Getting the boot.
But it's important to know around about what time that is so they have an expectation. And the kids kind of joke about it sometimes. And they're like, oh, when you're 22, you're out.
They're counting down.
Yeah, they're counting down, and they know, but that expectation is kind of out there.
Yeah.
And so that's a healthy thing. Is there anything else just about that, or the goals that we talked through with the kids, and maybe how we even translate that onto a weekly basis around the dinner table and things that we're doing? Want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I just think that we all can be just pulled so many ways. I've said that several times.
Yep.
And if you don't make a point to do it, it's not going to happen.
It's
like
true.
These things that we've done with our kids haven't just fallen in our lap and they're like, oh, wow, we just had a great conversation with our kids.
Yeah.
We've had to intentionally take the time and do it. And once we've done that, I think it's opened up the opportunity for the kids that they'll just pop in our room, sit on our bed, talk to us about things. I hear them talk to each other about their goals. Those things will come up in conversation. So it's just getting it started, taking the time to do it, and then just staying consistent and not making it hard. I know that lately we've been having our Sunday afternoon lunch.
Yeah.
We're going to have lunch together. We're going to sit down, look at each other, talk about things, share what's coming up in the week, look at the schedule for the week of, hey, when are we going to take time to sit down and have dinner together, because we're all in so many places. Or even push it later into the evening where we're just going to come sit in the living room at 9:00 at night and chat. So it's really just being flexible with it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be.
It's not going to be. No.
It's not going to be at all.
Usually far from perfect, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, where did that just go? But it's okay. And you just keep going.
Yeah.
And even if you have kind of gotten distracted or life just gets busy, things happen, just getting back to it. And just because you stop doesn't mean like, oh, we're never going to make that work or we can't stick to it.
Yeah.
Just taking the time to do it.
I like the fact that around the dinner table, we're all there. We're all obviously spending time together, just eating, breaking bread. But that's a time that we get to talk about our family values. That's also a time that we get to talk about, hey, ask one of the kids to share about their goals and what's going on with it just together as a family. We talk about expectations too at the table. Like, hey, listen, this is what's going on with your chores. This is what we like. This is what we don't like. Here's maybe some consequences that's going to be that way.
Yeah.
And kind of sharing the grace and truth within that. But that's just good intentional time to do. I think the other thing that we're doing in this season right now, at the time of this filming, it's January.
Yeah.
And we're having each kid each
cold.
week. Yeah, and it's cold. We're having each kid each week do a 5-minute devotional, kind of lead that. And each family's different and unique in terms of where they're at in their spiritual journey.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good practice because, even in our household, that it makes them a little bit uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
I got to bring something to the table that maybe is going to try to add some spiritual value and just talk about it. But it's really discussion based too. It's not just that they're preaching a mini lesson, but it's like, here's a verse, here's some things that I got out of it. What do you guys think about this? And we just have a little bit of a discussion as a family. But like to one of your previous points, we've made it pretty simple though. It's not like a half-hour deal. No. It's literally 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to connect. You're going to share today. You're going to, close in prayer. quick 10-second prayer.
Yeah.
But it's something that we're doing together, and we're all growing spiritually because of it. Because anytime you share God's word, that's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
you can also see what things that your kids are sharing.
That's true.
That's also that will give you a guide of like, that maybe is something that they're dealing with, struggling with, have questions about.
Mm-hmm.
So as parents, just pay attention to those things. Like, what are they bringing up, or questions that they're asking, or topics that they're leaning toward in scripture? Because then you can maybe one-on-one take time just to talk to them about it and see if they do have more questions. But I think it's a way, and I know I want our kids to have a good relationship outside, like once they're all in their own families.
Yeah.
So like I would say it's a bonding time of like, Callie's not at dance, Carter's at this sport, Cameron's at this sport. They're all different directions, but it's a time that we all come together and kind of make that foundation together.
Yeah, and it's regular touch points throughout the week.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of kids, and they're each going to lead devotional time. There's a lot of touch points, and then each of us to lead those moments at different times in the week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love kind of that combination and just that rhythm that we got going on. Honey, is there anything just in general that you wanna say in terms of just both of those subjects that we talked today, just in closing?
No, I just think it's just start.
Mm-hmm.
Just start somewhere.
That's great.
Be intentional with it, but not perfect. You have to be flexible with yourself, but also just setting an expectation of, I'm just going to do this, whether or not I'm tired or we have X, Y, and Z to get done. It matters more. And someday there's still going to be laundry to be folded, or dishes to be loaded, or groceries to run and get. But we only have, especially with our kids in our house, you only have so much opportunity in the home.
That's right.
So to have victory in the home, you have to put the work in, and but you don't have to overcomplicate the work.
Yeah, keep it simple. The days are long, but the years are short.
Yep.
And we heard that early on in our marriage.
Yep.
And isn't it so true? Because it literally flies by. You think you have time, you only have so much time. So be intentional, keep it simple, but action, right?
Yep.
Like get started, start doing these practices with your kids. Sit down, be intentional in your marriage.
And you'll see the fruit of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, guys, Erin and I enjoyed spending time with you. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Please like, share, comment. If there are any things in future episodes that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know. We would love to kind of hear where you would like us to add value to your lives. And so again, thanks for spending time with us. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.